Okay, so gonna head to the gym, make sure everything's ready to go. Tell you a story, and I think this is going to be something that everyone's going to get hit with next year, and I can't see how you can avoid it. A small workshop needed a way to collect all client information, the details, history of services and what was done, and they didn't have anything to do it with, except for they used an old Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. But now with an AI agent, they're able to do a lot more, because they're also able to get the client through their Google Business Profile, was able to access the AI agent, and they're able to get, watch out kids, don't be running. They're able to get a lot of information about the client. They were going to be hiring an extra person, but they knew they couldn't afford an extra person. And they wanted to hire an extra person, but they knew they just didn't have the money required to do it. So he introduced an AI agent 3 months ago, and it's been $15 a day. This one's $27 a day. What they were able to do with it was to get all the client interactions, messages, emails, fully sorted out into spreadsheets, different spreadsheet for services, different spreadsheet for the initial inquiry contact. But what they're able to do is do what they thought they were going to need a person 4 to 6 hours a day to do. Well, they've got AI to do it. But also they noticed that they were getting a lot more client inquiries, and because there was some instant reply capabilities, a lot more clients were booking calls to organize appointments. They didn't actually want automated appointments. They wanted to be able to do them just to clarify any details and then make the appointment. The boss calls and says, "This thing is working wonders. We're getting more business flowing, especially because we set up the Google Business Profile properly, and we're making one update a week. You can post updates to your Google Business Profile, which helps it rank better in the search engines. But also I explained just to run a constant Facebook ad for $2 a day. I'm not involved with the Facebook ads, but I showed them how to do it. But able to get more business coming in and hire that second person when they thought they needed a second person, but they just didn't have the numbers. But now that the AI is working in its favor, they employed an extra person. But the AI is still very important, but what they're able to do is concentrate on the productive side of things with the second person, because the AI does the mundane processes. Now, what I think is going to happen is that businesses are going to look for people who understand how they can use AI for their business. You see, Australia is a little bit behind America, was always behind America in regards to adoption of new technology. But we're noticing that businesses across the United States are firing people and hiring AI. Or they're firing people and hiring people with some AI skills that may not be used right immediately. But to remain competitive, you're going to have to do what's efficient and what's productive. And the people who may have some general basic competency in regards to using AI, got to win the war. And I made a video the other day about a lady who also, she's just a staff member, and she started using it, and she's basically become the MVP of the office for the owner, because she has been able to keep the records, the data and the records of every interaction she's involved with. Well, the owner called and said, I want this for all my staff. He obviously interrogated the employee, said, how are you doing all this? And she showed him. And he said, if my staff can't use this, I'm just not going to need them. You know, we're at a point now where everyone's going to need to not maybe make AI, but be able to use it. Give you another good example of why this spreadsheet information is so phenomenal is that I mean, you get a copy of it all. You can run it through your own AI agent again to get predictions. You get who's the most common customer, what's the most common make or model, depending on, you know, whatever your industry is, you know, the part numbers, what's the most common part, you can just ask AI based on the last 3 months of interaction with our business, what should be our marketing campaign for the next month? And an AI matrix engine can be built to extract the right information and then make a good judgment. If you're not going to be able to do this by the end of this year, I don't think you're going to have a job next year. I mean, for a lot of people, I think that's going to be the case. And more and more people are sending messages about how do I get something basic that can do all that? And you know, it's anywhere between, depending on the model, what the exact information requirements. I mean, anywhere from something basic is $9 a day through to the most complicated are you know, medical clinics, and that's probably $100 a day, but that does a lot of different functions. But it's done more and more, and I think these people are going to have a big advantage because they've had the whole of this year to slowly learn how to use it to their advantage, and they can walk into the boss and show them what they're able to do with this information. And the people that aren't doing it, can't do that, they're going to have problems next year because it's going to be expected. Cisco Systems just laid off 500 people. Facebook just laid in Menlo Park, California, just laid off how many thousands of people. Here in Australia, Amazon just laid off more people. People are getting laid off because AI can replace them. But who's going to have a better opportunity? People with no AI skills whatsoever, or those with AI skills. Not how to make it, but how to use it. Well, the people with those how to use skills, they're just going to have a better chance in the marketplace. I was watching a video today on Menlo Park, California. It's a really nice area if you've ever been there. And it used to be thriving, but now with thousands of people being laid off by Meta, Facebook, with all their AI problems that they've got, it's a ghost town. So indirectly, people have lost their jobs indirectly as well. It's filtering down into the economy there. It looks like a ghost town. I was shocked because when I was there, though, 15 years ago, I was there. It was actually quite busy, and people aren't. People, I think, are just going to go, oh, it's not going to affect me. Yeah, it's going to affect you. Give you a good idea. Courier app I built. All the software, all the applications required, everything to run it. It costs me $3 per delivery. And the average delivery value is about $20. Well, it's over. Sorry, I should say over $20. I think $27. Now, the AI doesn't require superannuation. It doesn't require overtime, sick leave, parental leave. It doesn't ask for weekends off. And I had I'm not gonna, no names. I had a courier service that runs in most states in Australia. Ask, can we have a look at this? So I showed them how it worked, and they're like, that's way quicker than our systems, and there's no people involved. I said, no, there's usually one person who's there to monitor everything and just to go and check things. They worked it out. They have an office of 24 people in Brisbane. They just need to they can just fire 23 of them. That's exactly what the manager said. So I could literally fire 23 people. I said, yeah. Well, I said, that's a conscience thing, but if you wanted to, I said you could probably fire 20 of them, keep 4 to monitor everything, make sure it's all running. He said, no, I think I could fire 23. That's the mentality right now of the businesses in Australia, and the staff are the ones that are going to pay for those decisions, but they can insure themselves against it by having some basic competencies. Because let me just tell you, imagine walking into an office. Nobody can use AI except the one person. The business owner has just noticed how AI can save them 30% of, save 30% on some area of the business. Who's going to get to stay? And this is like in the US, people are picking these skills up. They're starting to learn. I showed somebody how to read the spreadsheet that they get. I showed somebody how to use the AI to predict what would be the best. Well, to predict what kind of marketing they should use for the next month. And but yeah, here it's just a different environment. I just think people think that she'll be right, mate. But no, people are going to get fired. I want everybody to go to Seek and just apply for 100 jobs and just see the. Yeah, you're right. And just have a look at how many people are applying for the jobs, because sometimes I've seen screenshots. 3,000 people applied for this job, 1,900 people, especially for admin jobs. What about if you say, hey, I've got AI skills. I have AI skills for data entry and for making business decisions and things like that. who do you think the boss, who do you think when they read the letters, they're going to go, wow, this looks good. And you'll be able to say, I've been able to use it for the last 6 months and 30% efficiency in my job, 50% efficiency. I've been able to format and edit each email into a spreadsheet, which then that information can be used for future business purposes. Who do you think is going to get the job? I've been a receptionist for 20 years. I take phone calls and jot down information and send it to the right person, or the person who actually has a skill for putting together complex and elaborate and well formatted spreadsheets. Who do you think is going to get the job? Well, I know who I would be hiring. I wouldn't be hiring the person who doesn't know anything about it. And that's why it's going to be very important. I'm actually spoke to a Cambodian university putting together an online course for their students to learn AI in the hope to open an AI center there to help them get employed. A lot of those jobs, so a lot of the jobs here in Australia just for data entry are going to go to Cambodia. Mainland, it's much better than the Philippines because it's closer to Thailand and China and easier to get to overall. But I think it is time for people to not waste their time and to actually think, what is happening? What is going to happen next year, and how can I insure myself against it? And another thing to also mention is that the lady who used her own AI agent, the boss is now paying for it. He's paying double what she pays for it. Unfortunately, I had to tell him the real price, and he said, don't worry, she's worth it. She pays me 15, he pays her 30. He said it's worth it for the information, so that'll be fine. He did ask for one thing to be added, so but she's been able to ensure her job for next year at least. Anyway, good people, you've got to start thinking about this stuff, because it's not like it's not going to miss you. It's going to hit you really hard. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It is coming in, and companies are paying billions of dollars now. Big tech companies are paying billions of dollars to be ready to shrink the workforce. And it's the people that will be able to utilize AI who are going to have the opportunity to gain employment. And it's going to come, and it's going to come fast. And I read it every day, the news articles. And I'm like, yeah, probably 100,000 people this year in Australia will lose their job because they do not have because AI will come and take their job. But if they actually have AI skills, the people employing them might go, you know what, that might be worthwhile keeping that person on. Anyway, good people, got to go to the gym. So have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.